Hello, my name is Rosa Okano and I'm from Finland, and I'm here to tell about my story, how the awakening of consciousness happened and the realization of non-duality. And even if it's a story, this is timeless time, there may be something to resonate with. And people have asked about this. I'm an energy and sound healer, massage therapist. I do meditation guiding and spiritual guiding and therapy work, helping people, and also events and workshops. I do art, music, dancing, poetry, paintings, many things. So I want to share this story with you. I think for me this journey has been a lot about suffering from an early age and trauma. I was born in 1989, and because my mother is sick, she couldn't take care of me. She has schizophrenia and other illnesses too. So I was adopted when I was 10 days old. I was separated from my mother and my family and my relatives and the place where they lived in northern Finland. And I grew up in a home that was it was safe. My basic needs were taken care of. I had everything I needed, but still maybe some awareness and love and being present with all of emotions lacked from this family where I was living, because they didn't have those skills either. So it was basic life and going to school, and I had a lot of friends and like everything was okay. But from an early age I started to have depression and anxiety. I am diagnosed with ADHD too, and I think I was quite sensitive in the early age, and I felt many things, and I can remember how I was really, I had imagination and visuals and visions a lot, and I was interested in witches and Indians and animals, nature, playing with different things, and also space. Like I was already interested, maybe like wondering what this life is about and what this reality is, and my own mind. I remember some glimpses when I was I don't know if it's called preschool or how is it called, maybe like 10 years old. I was thinking about space, how can the universe be infinite, or the space, everything that is, how can it be infinite? And if it's not, if there's a ending to this universe, what is after that? And the mind couldn't grasp it. It was like coming to the end of cognitive understanding, and after that it was just stepping to the unknown, the infinity, experientially, because the mind just can't understand. So I had glimpses like that, and I was thinking about things and wondering. And I remember even having a feeling of energy when I was kid. But at some point, the environment, other people, I was conditioned to suppress my emotions, all the trauma emotions, like being abandoned. My biological father also died when I was 8 years old. He had cancer and he was pretty old. I have a brother. He lived some time with the parents, but he was sent to some other place, like a family with many kids and one adult, because my parents, they couldn't take care of him too. So that happened too. I didn't knew my father. I saw him, but I can't remember much. I have some pictures, but I didn't know who he was. So there was this huge trauma of being abandoned, and the belief that something is wrong with me, that they didn't want me. Of course, I didn't understand the whole thing, and just took it to myself that something is wrong with me. And the huge grief, anger, all of it. And even though I have good adoption parents, somehow they couldn't help me to deal with that. So I started to suppress all of the emotions and got dissociated and lost connection with my body and emotional body. And it was just surviving and doing basic things, school, hobbies, friends. But it started to feel I had apathy, depression, maybe 12 years old. And after that, when I was a teenager, I got into alcohol and later drugs. Of course, I just tried to feel better and keep my social life together, and it was just surviving, because I had no way to deal with those emotions. And I went to therapy, but even there I couldn't cry. Maybe I didn't feel safe enough with this therapist. I had some kind of hyperventilation seizure, or how is it called? Like I went to home and I couldn't breathe, and really intense anxiety. I couldn't be alone when I was living by myself. And I had all these relationships and sexual uh, experiences with many people. Of course, I tried to look for the safety and love and being accepted in emotional level, and I looked that from the relationships, but some of them also became traumatizing, and I was a mess. And at some point I was so depressed and and anxious that uh, I thought about death, and I had this thought that I can never be happy. It was a belief that if I can never be happy, what this life is about? Do I want to actually live if this is just my everyday life feeling like this, and this is horrible? So it was hard time, and then I tried everything. I tried medication for the depression, and then I got into psychedelics, mushrooms. I stopped my medication and took mushrooms, and there was this kind of opening. I could cry again, and I remember felt like I have been touched by God, and that was the interpretation of the mind. And also, I understood that it is my job to heal myself. Nobody else can help me if I don't do the work myself, and I really have to look inside and find the answers there. So that was kind of the beginning of the healing. It was like the turning point that this can't continue. The life the way it feels, this suffering, it just can't. I can't do this. So something has to change, and it started to change. So I used a lot of psychedelics, and there was many healing moments. Also, sometimes it was just running away from the ordinary suffering, wanting to feel amazing experiences and all that. And I was in a relationship where the other person was also suffering a lot, and he had his own problems, and we were fighting a lot. It was 2013 when this first shift of awakening happened. I had been using psychedelics, so I kind of thought it was something to deal with that, because I didn't know what the hell was happening. I remember a moment when I was fighting with my boyfriend, and the perception or perspective of the moment just shifted. I wasn't completely believing what I was saying or thinking anymore. There was just this vast open space, and seeing all the thoughts happening, and seeing the speaking happening, and the other person arguing, and all these different kind of motives happening. And then there was just this thought that why do we even fight and there's no sense in this. And why do I keep keep hanging on to this some kind of idea that I am right and he's wrong and I have to defend myself? It didn't make any sense. So I just stopped arguing and maybe left the moment, or I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but that was like in the moment of really deep suffering and fighting and struggle, like all of the traumas, addictions, and this relationship, all of it. It was just condensed suffering when it cracked open something. And after that, I kind of, well, I had trouble in the relationship and all, but I had a really nice flow experience. It's called honeymoon period, where everything, it's just flow and the opening of consciousness and not the old self, the separate self. It's not operating so much. Everything is clear. There can be like artistic flow and joy and peace that is unbelievable comparing to the suffering and synchronicities and all kind of magical stuff happening. So I had that, and I remember thinking that a few summers that this is the best summer of my life. I can't believe how everything is this wonderful in life. But it didn't last, so there was all this trauma and Kundalini awakening, all these energies coming. All that I had been suppressing was coming to the consciousness, and I had to deal with it and do shadow work. And whoa, that was like really a lot. And I didn't know what happened in the awakening, so I was kind of lost and felt alone with it. But I started meditate and reading books like Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, about Buddhism and all that. I got interested in spirituality, and well, I also kept using psychedelics. Maybe it was not a really good idea to open up more because there was so much of the dark stuff coming up. And at some point, I think I almost had psychosis with all the beliefs. The mind was trying to make sense about all of it, and there was these really intense energies, like I felt my head is exploding from the inside. And when there was no explanation to these new energy feelings, I was scared. I was really scared, like what is happening? And what is this, like feeling, sometimes feeling the separate self, and then the unity consciousness, or how can you tell, but like this fluctuation in between these states. And then the mind got into try to make sense about it. So it felt like I'm not moving my body. Who is doing this? There was still this sense of self that was afraid. And it has been a hard journey, like maybe 5 years I was crying every day. I was screaming in the forest, and all the emotions came up, and there was huge resistance to it because I had no tools and there was nobody else doing this stuff around. So I had no help in the beginning, and there was this resistance and being afraid of the emotions, and maybe just not understanding how to uh, just feel them in the body and not analyze. I also read a lot of about psychology, attachment styles, and traumas, and all of it to understand myself and what is happening. And at some point, it got clear to how the meditation just started to be a natural thing, and the emotions, like feeling the emotions and not clinging into the story or trying to analyze. And I did a lot of yoga and also tried to live normal life, but most of my time was just dealing with all of this and trying to survive. And it was many years and really hard, and many physical symptoms. I have diagnosed with fibromyalgia. It's like this chronic pain symptoms, fatigue, and many other stuff. Also, I thought I had burnout, like my nervous system was completely mixed up, and I couldn't sleep much, and the pain was horrible, and emotional pain, physical pain, and there was so much strange things happening, like in the perception of time. It moved, and the visual field, and all the emotions, and the beliefs, like what is real, and is there some bad energies. And I also had help, like somebody became my spiritual guide and helped me, and he also uh, talked and sent videos about non-duality and other types of healing sessions I've had, and many kind of help. And I have been watching so much of YouTube videos of spiritual teachers. They have been so helpful, and like trusting the process and opening up to it more and not resisting, and just trusting that everything is going just the way it is and supposed to, or there's nothing how it's supposed to or not supposed to, but it just is what it is. And it's like a blessing in disguise. All the suffering, all the hard stuff, it has been a portal to the realization, to opening up, and the uh, dissolving of the separate self. And it's a process, even though it's not. It's paradoxical. It it somehow doesn't happen in time, even if we have this experience of time. But it's always here. There's nowhere else to go. always here. And the process just start to lead you, and the intuition, it takes care of itself. It's just what's happening. And when I point to things, non-duality, I speak from the now, from this direct experience, that there's no separation, there's no separate me apart from the world or what is perceived as world. There's only what is seen, heard, smelled, taste, touched, thoughts, attention, consciousness, and they are not apart from each other. There's no line between anything, and there's no even a watcher or experiencer, no consciousness apart from what's being conscious of. And it is clear right here, right now, but sometimes the mind just makes up stories and is preventing to realizing this true nature. But there's nothing I understand conceptually that you don't. It's not about that. It's not about thoughts and understanding with thoughts. It is through the being, the recognition that this what is, it's already free. And the past and the future, it's just a story in thoughts. It's not actually here to experience. And even this space-time, the world, it's kind of illusion, really alive. It's empty and full at the same time. It's not real or unreal. But it is so simple. Maybe too simple for the mind that is looking for answers somewhere else in time. So this is freedom, and all of it. There's nothing that is not this. And there's no one to realize. The realization is like consciousness waking up from the dream of me. Nobody wakes up. And it's realization that it never was lost. This, it's just this. So with all of this experience and this clarity, it is really natural to help other people to heal and not suffer. And I do this healing work and guiding in Finland, in Jyväskylä, and also in Zoom video meetings. So if you're interested working with me, if this resonates, I do this kind of spiritual therapy work. I can guide to awakening and non-duality and spiritual pathless path and also trauma healing, just opening up and having this safe healing space to be heard and seen, to be feeling all the emotions. I know a lot of somatic practices I have done myself. I have done TRE and Tantra and breathing exercises, yoga, intuitive movement, intuitive sound, all kind of things that have helped me, and also grounding exercises to help relax the nervous system, meditation, I guide meditation, and also I do this sound and energy healing. I have a drum and sound singing bowls and other stuff, and I heal with my sound. And this kind of channeling, like shamanic stuff, that I look what is happening in the energy field of the other person, that kind of thing. And those things can be also guided or done in video meeting. It's not the same, of course, than live, but still energy is, it's not bound by time or place. Yeah, so if it feels this resonates with you, you can send message and reach out. And I just want to say that you're not alone with all of this. There's help. There's others. There's others, and yeah, if I can do anything to help you, I'm here for that. Thank you, and I love you. Bye.